Okay, thank you. Good morning. Today we are going to review just 4 aspects of yoga which are very important to the practice. In order to keep a healthy body, there are 4 things which are very important. Breathing, being silent, and food. Those are very important. So in my journey, there are 4 things which I incorporated to start, and that really changed my life completely. The first one was learning how to breathe. The second one was the exercise which I'll introduce you to today, which is called the Fountain of Youth or the 5 Tibetan Rites. And there's meditation and food. So breathing exercises, breathing is just one of the processes which can be done consciously and unconsciously. So as a result, it's possible to control it. It's possible to use it to heal the nervous system. Imbalances in our nervous system are responsible for a great deal of crime, diseases, and other factors that make our lives very uncomfortable. So it is very important to work on them so that we can heal. Now, in our body, the automatic nervous system has got 2 divisions. So one is called the empathetic, the empathetic nervous, the sympathetic nervous system, and the other is the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system prepares us for emergencies like and fight or flight. Like if we are in danger, it prepares us to either defend ourselves or to take off, to fly. On the other hand, the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for calming us down, for making us rest, even to make us sleep well, for digestion. And so it is very important for these 2 systems to be balanced. So both systems, when they function properly, then we can have a healthy body and mind. So however, because of the way we grow up, because of the way we are conditioned, the parasympathetic nervous system is somehow suppressed. And in most cases, we use the sympathetic nervous system. And we are always in a position of stress, of being protective, of defending ourselves. And so it's very important to heal and establish that balance between these 2 divisions of our nervous system. Because we have the power of control over our breath, it is the best way known to balance these 2. And so the exercises we've been doing before are meant to balance these 2 parts of the nervous system. Breathing is very important. We have discussed the importance of breathing since we started this journey. We've mentioned that it reduces nervousness, anxiety, it strengthens the immune system, it improves creativity, reduces excess carbon dioxide in our body, it increases the pH of the body. It's important to have an alkaline pH in order to have a healthy body. It improves sleep, it's good for digestion, improves even your mood. So these are some of the physical benefits, the health benefits of breathing that we've been exploring in the different pranayama sessions that we've done so far. But it also has some spiritual benefits. So like when we started, I said that the aim of yoga is to bring the body and the soul together. The body and the soul have no problem coming together. The only problem is the mind. But what breathing does is that it sort of calms the mind. It reduces the density of our minds. And so when it does that, even our spiritual body, the soul and the body live the optimal life that they can. And one thing that I've experienced, and which I've also been experienced by most people who do breathing exercises, is that it enhances your intuition. Your intuition is that part of you which is very powerful in guiding you. Our body has immense intelligence. There's this divine intelligence that we carry, and for the most part, because of the activity of our minds, we ignore that. But when we breathe, when we connect to our breath, we actually enhance that intuition. You can just move somewhere and then you feel like, no, I shouldn't do this. Or before something happens, you feel it. So that is something which breathing is very good for. And the next exercise which we are going to do today, the 5 Tibetan rites, is very good in rejuvenating your body. The 5 Tibetan rites started in Tibet, in the Himalayas, more than 2,500 years ago. It's not exactly one of the traditional yogas, but it is something that was done like a secret amongst the Tibetan monks. And one British explorer visited Tibet some years back and saw what was happening and learned, and then brought it to the West. And this guy went to Tibet in a certain way, but came back far younger than he went. So people were asking him what he did, and then he had to reveal this secret to them. So the 5 Tibetan rites is very important in detoxifying our body, balancing our chakras, the energy centers. It reverses aging. If you do 5 Tibetan rites for a couple of months or years, you see it has really an effect. If you see people who practice the 5 Tibetan rites, they actually look younger than their age, especially those who have practiced for some time. It helps you to sleep soundly, enhances your memory. It also helps you to balance yourself emotionally and mentally. It relieves joint pains, arthritis, and a lot of people who have been practicing this have reported healing different symptoms in their bodies. So this is also in terms of your endocrine system, the hormonal balance, it balances your hormones. And the last part, which is meditation, which I encourage you really to incorporate in your practice, meditation is very important. Our souls have lived for very long, trying to communicate with us, trying to support us in the many processes that we undertake in life, identifying ourselves with our culture, with education, the career, and so on, and distancing ourselves from who we really are, just beings. So the soul has gone through that tremendous journey, and just 5 minutes of silence means a lot to the soul. And so the aim of meditation is not to have some mystical experiences or visualize or become or gain supernatural powers. It is simply to be silent, and to be silent so that you can connect yourself to your true self, to that part of you which is, I would say, it's actually the higher self, your higher self. So each time that I have meditated, because I've been meditating for long, I've experienced a lot of changes. It's possible for me to just be quiet and listen to what my intuition is saying. So as entrepreneurs, our intuition is very important in guiding us. This creativity comes from intuition. It comes from our higher self. And so if we don't create that space to interact with our higher self, to listen, we just keep engaging with our minds, then the further we are really from our mission on earth. So it is very important to sit down and just connect to your breath. As you connect to your breath, you listen. And then sometimes you will start feeling feelings that you never thought you could feel. But those feelings were there before, sensations and so on. Just because you never paid attention to them, you will not realize that they are there until you start listening to your body. This body which holds tremendous wisdom, this divine intelligence. So that's the aim of meditation. It's not to acquire some supernatural powers. So before we start, if you have any questions, today we are just going to do a bit of warm-up and then engage with the 5 Tibetan rites. And then we come back to the breathing next session. Any questions?
Yeah, no, a quick one from me. You know, when I try to switch off everything and be by myself with myself, I always struggle to achieve that. The only time I'm ever able to have just one thing in my mind, just simply one thing, is when I'm playing golf that I'm not very good at. And that's the only time I'm ever able to, if in my own terms I can find myself to be in a meditative state. What other techniques or approaches can one use to declutter the mind? Because I think it's a lot of clutter that sort of limits me from being able to just focus and meditate and focus on just another aspect of life, which perhaps, as you're saying, the breath is one area we can focus on.
Yes. So there are many other things that can bring you to presence, like playing golf, for example. Yes, because you can focus on it and everything is just there. There are many things. Some people do like skiing. Some people do running. But I feel that meditation is the shortcut to get there because you can meditate anywhere. And some people prefer to go hiking on the mountains. And some of the spiritual masters, even Jesus, they've gone to the wilderness. It's not because there is something hiding there for them to speak. It's simply because they're seeking that silence where they can connect with their intuition, what the Holy Spirit, or that divine intelligence. So we have different ways to connect, but the easiest way that I found and that most people have found, because it's not like it's one way. No, you can do meditation and experience it. And then when you have the opportunity to do golf, you do it. But every day, if you have just 5 minutes to 10 minutes for your body to be silent and just be silent, not. And this doesn't mean that you don't think, but you don't identify with your thoughts. You welcome everything that comes. Feelings will come up, but just watch them and then connect to that space that is not you. I think this is one thing that I learned in meditation, because when we meditate, we expect to see things and experience things, or just to have this total silence and not think. That's not true. Even in meditation, thoughts are there. You simply just have to make a difference between you, this is me, and these are the thoughts. I'm not the thoughts. And then there's this space that creates. And then from there, your consciousness starts expanding. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to move to the yoga mat and then we can start the practice. You may not hear, I'll try to be audible, but because I'm going to be a bit fast. Yeah. Okay. So, with some warm-up, just the same warm-up that we have been doing.
You can't see.
You can't hear?
No, I can't see you. Can you tilt your screen? Yeah, your camera.
Yes. I forgot to do that.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, all right. So we'll start with the same warm-up exercises we've been doing in the past week. And so it's about releasing the stress, the tensions around our neck. Our neck and shoulder areas hold a lot of tension. So we start by just taking in, breathing in, and rotating. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And do 10 rotations. Forget to engage your breath. Last breath. And back to the center. With the next breath, we rotate to the opposite direction. Last rotation, back to the center. Deep breath in, out. Another breath in. Last breath in. Hands to the shoulders. Hands to the upper shoulders. And we're going to rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise 10 times. Start clockwise. Engaging your breath. To the center. Anti-clockwise. Last round. Back to the center. Keep your eyes closed and feel the effects of the practice. Breathing deeply. And slowly. The next warm exercise. You can either sit cross-legged, it's easy, or you can stretch your legs. And then you then stretch forward. Breathe in and breathe. So you can breathe out when you bend, and then when you rise, you breathe in. So it's always nice to breathe out when you bend. So you breathe. Elongating your spine. Your legs set back to the center. And then now in reverse, this way. Breathe in. Close your eyes and feel the effects of differences. So the next exercise is to warm up. You can just be in a downward dog position this way. And just stretching the legs, stretching the leg muscles, engaging the breath. Next now. Hold. Just bend your knees slightly. Look forward. And then place one leg in between. Two legs, yes, in between. And then the next one, coming forward. Stand up. Straight. Breathing in. And out. Breathing. And out. Gently bend down, gently, just bending, and elongating and stretching your spine, stretching your neck as well. And you can hold on the back of your heels. You can hold here just to support yourself. Back this way. Then just go as much as you can. If you can even touch your knees, that will be fine. And start breathing in and out. Try to control your breath, so breathe slowly and deeply. And now you can place your 2 hands on your lower back, and then look forward and rise shoulder to shoulder, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly. And then make sure you arch backward and breathe out. Stay in this position. Continue breathing. Come back to standing position. Now, when you do this exercise, it is important to counterbalance. If you are down for this long and you just rise, you can faint because there's energy that is moving up. So it's good to flush it back and then you can come back. Okay, so we'll now start with the 5 Tibetan rites. The 5 Tibetan rites, I'll just demonstrate the 5 different moves. With the first move, your hands are, this is a very purifying move, sort of cleanses you. So your hands have to be like straight, and then you turn towards your right hand, and this you move in this direction.
Certainly. We can't see your arms at all.
Oh.
Should be better. Sorry, man.
Okay. Can you? I'm sure you can now. How's it? Can you see me? Okay. So this way, straight up, yes. And then you turn towards your right, looking towards the tip of your fingers to the right. And then you turn in this direction. Then you turn gently this way. So this is just a demonstration, 6 times. When you finish this round, you do it 6 times. So for a start, I do 15 to 21 times. Now, the maximum you do is 21, but it's advisable to start with 6, and then you, after maybe 2 weeks, you can go to 8, and then you progress until you get to 21. So when you finish the last round, just choose one point that is just at the same height as your eyes, and then you focus on that point. When you finish the last, you can either stand this way or this way, and then watch. Just focus on that, because this is going to train you to focus. And you focus on it for a few seconds or a minute. Just looking straight. Don't move your eyes, don't blink. Just opening your eyes and then focusing on a particular point. So you may already decide on which point you want to focus on, so that when we do it, you can then just focus on that point. The next exercise, wait. Okay. I want to be sure that this is clear. Yes, it's fine. So the next exercise, you lie down, put your back straight. So there are 2 movements that will take place at the same time. My legs will rise 90 degrees, and then my neck, just my neck, not the shoulders, the neck will rise. So it goes like this. Now, don't forget to engage your breath. So your legs are straight, and you breathe in and out. Okay. So the third exercise. So we'll just remember this sequence, because we will come back to that. Just kneel down, and then hands on your lower back, once if you wish, and then march backwards. Breathe in. And so when you breathe out, your chin has to touch your chest. Like, just try to look at the position behind you. Just arch in a way that you can see something behind you. This is the third, right? And then the fourth right is this way. So we're going to start it all over, which is demonstrating. The fourth right, just sit straight, your hands down this way. Yes, and then you go. Again, just make sure you look at there's something behind you, just look at a certain point behind you. Yes. So your neck goes down. That is the third. That is the fourth. And then the fifth one, sorry. This is a downward dog position. And so you start breathing, you breathe in this way. This is cobra. Breathing out dog position. Okay. So there is a sit one which is optional, which we won't do today. I don't think we'll do it at home. It works with sexual energy, so I can explain that later. So let's start with the first now and do 6 so that we get coherent. It's good to, when you start this, especially from the second, you just do non-stop because there's energy moving around your chakras. So let's start with the first one and do 6 times. Turn towards your right, looking towards the tip of your fingers, and then rotating to the direction of the universe, breathing in. Breathing in and out, engage your breath. And then with the last breath, just choose one position and just focus on handling your thoughts. Do the second one. Okay. Start 1. And then straight to the next one. Okay, so this was the second one we missed. Second one. Let's do the last one now. 6 times. One, 2, 3. When you finish, you come back to sitting position. So we feel the effects of the practice. Just close your eyes. So, just checking my time now. Yeah, it's 9:30. I'm sure we can end here. Or if you don't mind, I can teach you one last practice, one last kriya, which is also good in releasing stress. That will take about 2-3 minutes. Is that fine? Okay. So when you finish here, stand in this position, and trying to stabilize yourself, moving forward and backwards, just swinging slowly. Not this way. You're doing this. Plan, just this way. And then it goes this way. Come back, standing position. Breathing in slowly. Just come back to your sitting position.
Can I ask a question? Was that breathing through your nose as you were shooting down?
Sorry?
Was that breathing through your nose as you were shooting down, or through your mouth?
You can breathe through your mouth. Usually when you want to release stress, if there's anything, anger and so on, it's good to take it through your mouth. Sorry, I didn't explain that.
No.
So you actually do like, that sound is very important. And at some point, it's like, you remove it, take it out, take it out, take it out. You can do that for like 5 minutes non-stop. Makes you sweat and so on. But after that, you realize that like the stress and the anger and everything else is taken out. So that's another sort of Kriya practice.
Awesome.
It's also good for the spine and the nervous system. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the practice for today. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's good always after every practice to just come back to a sitting and meditative position and do some grounding, breathing in deeply and out. And feeling the area of our body that connects to the earth and directing everything that is not serving us to transmute into the earth. Slowing down your breath. Okay, you can come back. Just come back to your breath and slowly open your eyes. Thank you. Yeah. So the Tibetan rites, which I was speaking about, is very powerful. You don't do it many times. It's very good in transmuting, or just say processing sexual energies. Sexual energy is very powerful. It's just that we have sort of put it in a box and we categorize it, but that is the source of creativity. That's what produces life. And everything, most creative people sometimes tend to be, they're seen as people who do this and that. It's because of the sexual energy in them. And so sometimes if you know how to manage it, you can produce more, you can be more productive. And so the last Tibetan rite helps you to sort of manage that energy. And if you're a guy and you don't want to keep ejaculating anyhow, you want to retain and all that, that's a practice which is good for you. The yogis don't throw out their semen just anyhow. They take time. So you can have sexual intercourse, but you also know when to sort of control it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Danae. Sure. Lots of learnings there, and I think also interesting the connection between sort of your creative energy and how to harness that, and often how, you know, it's we categorize it in a certain way and it's got a certain label, but I think it's important to be empowered with the right kind of information so you can know how to utilize these things about you, you know, and bring out the best in you, and also know when to how to manage your own sort of energies better. Super.
Yeah. Lindsay, you recorded. Are you able to share it to the soonest?
I will.
I appreciate that. I think I really enjoyed the physical engagement of today's session. I think I like that part a lot. So we can make it more intense. Yeah, the movement.
Or you want to go to 15, 21? We can. These exercises are very simple, but they work a lot in your energy, with your energy. You see, as human beings, we look at the planet. The planet has got a magnetic field. It's got an energy field. We have our own energy field. It's just that as humans, we see other things. And so there are lots of things happening around. And it's better to take things slowly, because what you've done, if you keep doing even this 6 for the next couple of days and then you increase and so on, I think you reap more benefit than maybe going straight, because it's not just a physical exercise, it's intense. Yeah. Your chakras, it makes your chakras to spin. I think Lindsay knows more about this spinning of chakras. Yeah, it makes your chakras to spin, and your chakras are connected to your body organs. That's why it sort of rejuvenates you, because it heals each of these organs. So there's something happening internally apart from just.
Yeah, everything feels awake and alive, you know, after those exercises.
Yeah, that's true.
Very much like, okay, ready for action. No.
I think that I felt the most intensity and some electrical movement, so to speak, after we did the exercise. We were bending in the heads and the knees.
Yeah, that one is intense.
Yeah, it felt.
And the last one. The last one is also very intense, because those are 2 asanas you do. You do one is called the cobra, and the other one is downward dog, and you do it consistently. So it's a lot of energy you are generating, and that's why at the end it's always good to ground. And even the bending down and then flushing, that's a lot. There are some simple exercises which just taking a certain position, when you wake up, you just find like something rising up. And that's energy processing. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm not sure I will have this space. This is my office, but the lease is expired. My next office, this was the classroom. This is so packed up. And then my space is also very limited. Otherwise, I would love to do this more often, but I'll see next week. Maybe we can. And it's good to combine the breathing exercises and this one. Very, very, very effective. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, James. That was wonderful. Great way to start the day.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you, guys.
All the best. Have great day.
You too. Okay.
All right,
Bye.
see you. Bye bye.